Hey everyone, welcome to Tarot Thursdays May edition. My name is Alicia of AskAlicia Tarot. I am an online tarot card reader and I also provide in-person entertainment for events. We are here because of Refinery29. Refinery29 is the leading media outlet for women, women's voices, and also covering I would say like happenings, cultural happenings throughout the world, and also representing those from underrepresented communities. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. I want to look at the chat really quickly. Who's here? Let me see. If you see me looking over, I'm looking over at my screen at my laptop here. Hi! Welcome, welcome. Hi, Callie Chick. Hi, Beans. How are you? Um, just a few housekeeping rules. For those of you who are new and joining us, the structure for today's show is we have a brief intro, then I go into a very light, high level astrology forecast for the month, so covering different astrological transits, just so that you can keep them in mind. Then I go into a collective reading. Then I go into what I call semi-individual readings. So those who are in the chat who want to ask a question, you are more than welcome to join the queue. You will be driving the conversation during these semi-individual readings. However, I love for everyone to feel included. So I usually transform that question into a more broader reading so that anyone who that question applies to, who is watching live or in the replay, they can relate to that as well. And then we close out this show with a rapid fire yes or no. So anyone, even if your questions didn't get asked, you can ask a yes or no question towards the end, and I will try to answer as quickly as possible. Also, for those of you who are new or you missed a few shows, last show we introduced a special call-in feature. So now we can hear our voices. That sounds so crazy. Now we can hear voices, but now you can hear voices of your fellow chat buddies. And so you can have the option to call in with your question, or you can enter your question via chat if you're uncomfortable or if you can't access the technology to call in. So totally up to you, but that is an option for you as well. If you're new to Twitch, there are certain functions that you can plug in order to join the line, join the queue, or find out more about me, find out more about Refinery29, find out more about tarot. So you can type in !Q join, QUEUE join, and that will put you in line for the semi-individual readings. If you want to know about what tarot is, you can do !Tarot, TAROT, !Alicia, ALICIA, !Refinery29, schedule. Okay. If you call in, I wouldn't say like I have a better connection per se, but it is nice to feed off the energy instead of me just sitting here in a room feeling like I'm talking to myself sometimes. So it's nice to hear your voice. It's also very engaging. Okay. All right. Okay. So the other thing that I want to mention is that this month, we have a few things going on this month for May. It's making me think of like spring. We also have Mother's Day, so I will be incorporating some like themes around motherhood, the mother, our inner mother. I don't want to call it mother wound. I'm sure there's a better term for that, but our relationships to motherhood and mothering, and also nurturing energy in the divine feminine. Okay. Also, this month is AAPI month. So to celebrate those who have a cultural background of Asian American and Pacific Islander, I also have, well, I'll show you later. I have two decks that I'm using today from Asian American creators. So that is also something that I wanted to, or that we wanted to incorporate actually. All right, so now let's go into the astrological transits. And again, if you see me looking over here, I'm trying to look at my screen. Okay, so on May 4th, it kicks off the Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. So right now we are already in Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto is the planet of transformation, deep subconscious revolution when it's in Aquarius. And so retrograde, whenever we have a retrograde, it causes us to revisit all the re's, like revisit, rethink, reevaluate. So Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is making us rethink our values when it comes to rebellion, societal structures, technology, visionary thinking. Okay, so you might even have like an inner revolution that you're kind of assessing this month, or during the season of Pluto in retrograde in Aquarius, and also thinking at a larger scale. What does society look like in terms of what needs to be rearranged or changed? Because Aquarius is they're the visionaries of the zodiac, and they also rule like rebellion and all that stuff, and technology. And they're also, Aquarius rules the 11th house, which is society, friendship, values, all of that. Okay, so it's more of like themes of transformation and deep societal consciousness around those themes. Okay. All right. Then we have May 12th, we have the full moon in Scorpio. Anytime we have a full moon, that is a period of releasing something. And it doesn't have to be extremely harsh, because this isn't like an eclipse, but it is releasing something, and it goes through all 12 signs, you know? So this month it's Scorpio's turn. And that doesn't mean it's only applying to Scorpio. All of us have the different zodiac signs within our birth chart, and all of those zodiac signs fall within particular houses. So depending on where Scorpio falls within your chart, you might be releasing something according to that house meaning. But I will say that usually the sign that the full moon is transiting, that particular zodiac sign feels it the most. And so Scorpio rules the eighth house, I believe. The eighth house is the house of secrets, other people's money, the taboo, taxes, all of that. So around the full moon in Scorpio, we might be releasing, things might come to light, like secrets might come to light. That's a possibility. But we're also releasing things that I would say guilt, shame, releasing certain attachments to how we perceive money. I am picking up on that. And also Scorpios might feel this energy the most, okay? So then we have Sun conjunct Uranus in Taurus. So Uranus and Taurus, we've already been experiencing this energy. Taurus is the ruler of like comfort, stability, structure, things set in stone, going, not going with the flow, but what is it? I can't think right now, but it's basically like our comfort zone, like comfort food, like we feel safe here, right? And so Uranus and Taurus has been teaching us like, okay, what happens if we just throw a wrench in everything? What happens if we just explode stuff, you know? And so you may have noticed like a lot of things have been happening for the past few years that completely transform what we view as like the norm, what we view as like comfortable. Like we have constantly been on our toes with Uranus, which is an energy of shocking, sudden happenings, unpredictability in such a safe zodiac sign, right? So the Sun conjunct Uranus, this transit is making us there might be sudden shocking revelations when it comes to money, when it comes to comfort, when it comes to stability, finances around this time on May 17th. So the sun illuminates things. So even if you were experiencing these themes over the past few years, the sun conjunct Uranus at this time is shining like a bright spotlight on that energy. Okay. And then we have on May 18th, Jupiter squared North Node. So we have the North Node that's transitioning Pisces right now, I believe. So when something squares something, it's kind of like opposing it. So we have two different contrasting energies where Jupiter is a planet of expansion, of luck, right? And so there might be like a contrast between do I take a big risk? Do I go after my purpose right now? Do I take a leap of faith, or do I play it more safe, right? And so there might be this like discord there. So I would say there's a theme of, sorry, I keep looking up when I'm thinking or channeling. There's a theme of like, should I take a big risk or not? So you might be posed with that energy, with that duality around this time. And on May 20th, we have the sun in Gemini. So Gemini season kicks off. Man, everything's going so fast. So happy birthday to the Taurians. Happy birthday to the Geminis. We love you. So this is, I was not gonna say chaotic energy, but that came out. So this is the start of a lot of fast-paced energy. Wait, I gotta look at the chat because I'm so sorry, Geminis. Where are you? Call chick. Oh, Nugichi's like, woo, yeah, Gemini season. So my apologies to the Geminis. I actually love you guys. I know you guys get a lot of a bad reputation, but I enjoy your vibrant energy. Okay, so this is entering a season of like very fast-paced energy. Gemini rules communication. It's a very Mercurian sign, so Mercury, communication, technology, learning, communication. So the sun in Gemini, we're entering this season of being more social, more playful, more talkative, right? Curiosity. So those are the themes. All right, so on May 24th, we have Saturn in Aries. So Saturn is entering Aries. Saturn was in Pisces for the past 2.5 years. So now we're entering Saturn in Aries. I won't go deep into this, but if you know about Saturn return, if you've heard that, I suggest you look it up. So those of you who have Saturn in Aries, you are now entering your Saturn return. Okay, so good luck. Good luck. It's nothing to necessarily be afraid of, but it is a huge transformative time. Okay. In general, for the general collective, so Saturn is the planet of discipline, karmic lessons, structure. So Saturn entering Aries will challenge us to have discipline, but also maybe even receiving karmic lessons. And the way that I view karma, it's more about just like learning things. I don't necessarily view karma as this negative punishment. I think if there's areas that we need to grow, we will receive the exact dosage of karma at the right time, right place in order to stretch us to grow if we haven't learned those lessons yet, right? So Saturn in Aries is more about karmic lessons around independence, leadership. And so I could technically forecast that during this period of time, if there are leaders who need to learn certain lessons, karmic lessons, they will probably be learning those karmic lessons during this time. Okay, but within our day-to-day life, this could even mean like bosses, like anyone who's in positions of authority, even ourselves when we step into leadership roles, or even leading our own lives and responsibility, that is going to be a huge theme now with Saturn in Aries. Okay. And then we have the new moon in Gemini. Anytime we have new moon energy, this is like a fresh start. So new moon in Gemini, if you want to manifest during this time, writing things down might be a really great way to embrace this Gemini new moon energy. But I would say like a fresh start to communications, social relationships, curiosity, things like that. All right. I believe that's all the transits that I was planning on covering this month. All right, cool. So let's go into our collective reading today. Yay! And I get to shout out the wonderful creators of these two decks. I want to grab the box really quickly. All right, so the two decks that I will be using today, I have the, let's see if you can see this. There we go. The Adventure Tarot by Elizabeth Sue. So this deck talks all about like travel and road trip, and has themes of adventure. And I even saw like some keywords about like FOMO. So it's all about inspiring that inner adventurous self within you. And the artwork is by Jenny Chang. So that's nice. And then we also have Tarot of the Divine by Yoshitani. And I believe she not only created this deck, but she also is an artist and designed the artwork. And this entire deck has a wide variety of cultures, and has themes of like various mythology and deities and folklore and fairy tales from around the world from various cultures. So you might see Japanese themes, or Native American or indigenous themes, Indian, anything. Okay. I saw Egyptian in there. So I think both of these decks are really gorgeous. So I'm excited to use these decks. Yay! Hi, Leah. Thank you so much for joining. Kawaii Shell says, beautiful deck. Yes, yes, yes. Hi, Leah. Cool. Callie Chick. Awesome. All right. So let's pull a collective message. So I was thinking today, or this month, we could talk about, since we have Mother's Day, I was thinking maybe like how we can nurture our divine feminine energy this month, or what does our inner divine feminine or inner mother have to say to us? Like, what message does she have to say to us this month, and how can we bring nurturing energy to us this month? Okay. So all of us have divine feminine and divine masculine energies within us, regardless of your gender. So just keep that in mind. Next month, I'll be talking about the divine masculine, and it will still apply even if you identify as a woman. Okay. All right. So this is the Tarot of the Divine that I'm starting with. So what message or theme? Actually, I think I want to start with the CEO deck. This is the Creative Entrepreneur Oracle. So Oracle decks are different than, oh, that was a terrible shuffle. Oracle decks are different than tarot decks. So Oracle decks usually have the message right there on the card, so you don't need to have any particular intuitive abilities. You can just read the message right there on the card. So tunnel vision and create the blueprint and rest. I knew rest was going to come out. Divine feminine energy is all about receiving, pampering, and taking a back seat. That doesn't make our divine feminine energy any less powerful when they sit back. It's just that she's sitting back and allowing herself to manifest. Okay. Tunnel vision and create the blueprint is interesting. So let me check that out real quick. So we have, oh, thank you. Yes, if you're interested in checking out the CEO deck, you can go to the creativeentrepreneur.oracle.com or the ceodeck.com. And you can also follow at the ceodeck on Instagram. And if you want to follow me, I'm AskAlicia.tarot on Instagram. All right, so we have tunnel vision and create the blueprint as well. It's easy to become laser focused on the end game, but remember the magic lies within the journey. Take a pause and reflect on where you've come from. Show appreciation for the growth, lessons learned, and the progress you've made along the way. Ah, I see. And create the blueprint. Every great vision needs a plan. Ground your ideas in research and strategy and bring them to life. This is like contradicting because it's like, hey, don't have tunnel vision, but also create the blueprint. So this, though, I had like a light bulb moment come on. So the divine masculine energy within us tells us to go, 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 rush, 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 achieve, 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 perform, 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 right? And the divine feminine energy, the mother energy within us is saying, hey, 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 be present, okay? Don't get so caught in the minutia that you forget to enjoy the journey, that you forget to take care of yourself, to take care of your needs, to enjoy the beauty around you along the way. In fact, that's making me think of before I was starting the show, there was like a car alarm going off in the background. And I was like, oh, I hope it goes off. And it went off. But for some reason, I was in a state of flow, and the car alarm started having like this rhythm, this like beep, beep, beep. And it made me think of like the rhythm of life, the dance of life. Like life is a dance, and it dances to a rhythm. And you start to hear even sounds that might be annoying or a nuisance, or even happenings that might be annoying or nuisance or frustrating. The good and the bad, it all becomes a part of a dance, a part of a rhythm for your life. And so you get to choose to dance to the rhythm, good or bad, right? I don't know why I got that message. I also don't know why I'm getting this strong theme of dance. But I would say, instead of stressing out and thinking about the end goal and where you need to be, think about the dance, okay? Ooh, the dance of life. I love that. And so when I see create the blueprint, maybe we're choreographing this life. So instead of a stressful, I'm thinking of like a dance captain who's like super stressed and like militant, right? Instead of that, maybe this person is going with the flow. Maybe this person is accommodating their team and addressing all of their strengths and weaknesses, taking that into account into the overall choreography of your life, right? So instead of like, you can rest assured that your dance, why am I so dance? That your end result is going to be beautiful and gorgeous. So you don't have to stress out about that as much. You can just enjoy the art of choreographing. Okay, all right. Let's go into the cards. Okay. Nokichi says, "It me, I'm the dancer. Your energy is strong in here, Nokichi." All right, so we have the King of Coins, which is interesting because we're talking about the divine feminine. I was going to say the divine mother, so that's interesting. The divine feminine energy. Okay, the Six of Cups makes sense. We have the Eight of Swords as well. All right. So the King of Pentacles. Wow, this is such a beautiful card. Wow. The King of Pentacles in other decks talks about a man, divine masculine energy. We all have it, right? Divine masculine energy within us that, again, is focused on money, focused on finances, focused on stability. But this card is, we have this huge like turtle or tortoise, I don't know, turtle, right? And there's like lavender, there's a whole tree, which is making me think of like Gaia and like the tree of life here with the roots on the shell. That's interesting. So it's almost like you're carrying, even no matter what pace you're moving at. Normally, there's the Knight of Pentacles, which is the slowest moving card in the deck. But because I have this tortoise here, it's making me think of that energy. So no matter at what speed that you're moving, you can trust that you're carrying in a good way, not in a pressure way, this beautiful tree of life. You're carrying the wisdom of the Divine Mother, your ancestors with you. They have your back. Literally, they have your back because it's on the shell. And you can rest assured that where you end up, it's going to be safe, it's going to be stable, it's going to be all that you hoped and wished for, because you're carrying not only this knowledge, but you also have the liberty to move at your own pace. Okay. And we have the Page of Pentacles here, Page of Coins. This person is someone who plants seeds. On this card, we have, like, I don't want to mess up the culture. I don't know what specific culture this is, but it's making me think of like Nordic, but I don't want to offend anyone. So we have this lovely energy in these snow-capped mountains in this cold environment. Page of Pentacles is exploring and planting seeds and good investments. This card is making me think of, there's magic in something that's cold. Normally, if something is cold, you have to like warm it up first, right? But if something is new, if something hasn't been warmed up or heated up yet, like let's say you have an idea, but it's baking in the oven, or you haven't even put the idea in the oven yet, right? I see that there's still magic there. There's still like magic waiting to unfold, to be released here. I like that. Let's go with the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups, this is more of a traditional depiction of the normal Six of Cups card within the tarot. And this talks about nostalgia. I always talk about this card as like grandma's cookies, right? So this is returning to literally mothering your inner child. That's what this card represents. And these flowers are being given to your inner child. So I would say the mother within you wants to not only give flowers to herself and recognize where you're at, how far you've come right now, but also praise and shower your inner child with love and flowers, the flowers that she or he or they deserve, for everything that you endured during your childhood, whether that was traumatic or hardship or a beautiful, pleasant, privileged childhood. It doesn't matter. But for everything that you've gone through in life, we are now giving that person flowers. And yeah, April showers bring me flowers. So any tears that you've cried in the past, you are now nurturing and growing flowers within. Oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional. For yourself. Okay. Bean says the cards are so cute. Nogichi says, I think it's Chinese mythology where there's a world in the back of the tortoise. Oh, not entirely sure. See, that is the beauty of diversity, okay? Because I don't have all that knowledge, right? And that's so, let me go back to that card. Because I just saw that. Thank you, Nogichi. So Nogichi says Chinese mythology where there's a world on the back of the tortoise. Possibility, okay? So the world, the knowledge from our ancestors, it also makes me think of the knowledge from the collective. Like we're all helping each other. And that's why it's so important to have diverse voices, right? Like, because without that knowledge, without Nogichi's point of view, like I learned something today and it adds more color to the message, right? It adds more color to our dance of life. So embrace other cultures, embrace other mindsets, even if they contrast your own points of view. Let's be less rigid this month. That's what the inner mother is telling you to do. So back to the Six of Cups. We're giving flowers to our inner child and also ourselves. This crow here makes me think of rebirth, death, right? So we are having a rebirth in a good way of how we view our inner child, how we mother our inner child. Hi, Hi, Sig Jenny Vlogs. Nice to meet you. Nogichi says, I just checked it. The giant tortoise is called Ao. Am I saying that right? Ao? Ow? And is also a creator goddess. Beautiful. This is gorgeous. I love this. I love this so much. And I definitely, like, this is a new deck for me, but I definitely need to, like, study every single mythological story and folklore behind each card, because I know I will get so much more out of it and be able to present to you guys. So the last card that we have is I'm going to include this one too, actually, is the Eight of Swords. Ooh, wow, this is powerful. So the Eight of Swords talks about insecurities and anxiety, and I love the artwork on this card where, again, it's our inner child being protected by, I don't know what creature this is. A fox? I don't know. I don't, girl. I don't know. I need to freshen up on my animals, okay? But regardless of what it is, it's making me think of a protector, okay? And maybe they even, first of all, this person it makes me think of they're hiding, like maybe they were banished from the kingdom, maybe they were meant to feel like an outsider from the kingdom here, and they are now hiding under this nurturing but also protective skin or animal. And it seems like this woman, this child, might be having minimal clothes on, which makes me think of like our raw, vulnerable self, right? Like our raw inner childhood wounds, any insecurities that we have. So I think we are now releasing that energy here. The Seven of Cups usually it talks about gluttony and confusion and having all sorts of different paths in front of us. This card is making me think of 7 wishes. So instead of focusing on insecurities and the wounds that we have, we're now thinking more positive about all that life that has to offer us, and also the wishes here. This makes me think of Aladdin. I think Aladdin was originally someone who stole, like a thief, a street beggar, right? But then obviously we know the story of Aladdin. But I'm not picking up on the fact that you need to steal or do anything sneaky, even in the form of survival to meet your needs. I'm picking up on these have different, a donkey. Yeah, I was wondering if that was a donkey. These are different wishes that you have at your disposal for the taking whenever you choose to tap into that energy. Okay. All right. Let me check into the chat. Let's see. Yeah. Bean says, tunnel vision and rest makes me think, like you said, taking care of ourselves when we are so busy with the day-to-day things and neglect ourselves in the process. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Beans. Yes, absolutely. I feel like you are spot on with that reading and that tidbit and that message for sure. Thank you so much for sharing that perspective. Wow, I took my time for sure with that reading, but I don't know about you, but that felt very healing and very needed. So let's go into the semi-individual readings. If you would like to join the queue, you can use the signal ! Q join. Okay. Okay, so Callie Chick, you are up first. Let me know if you're here, boo. Okay. Let me see if I can find your question. Did you put it in earlier? Let me see. Callie Chick. Callie Chick, if you can enter a question, I can't find it. Hold on. Oh, here we go. All right, so Callie Chick, okay. This is for you and whoever is watching. So Callie Chick says, I went through a big health scare. I'm fine now. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. But I'm glad that you're fine now. And trying to get my life back in order, but I've been feeling a bit overwhelmed, trying to do so many things at once, streaming, life, work, healthy habits. Will I get to that point of feeling less overwhelmed? Okay, so if you've recently had something that threw a wrench into your plans, whether it was life, physical ailment, and you're healing, but you're just wondering, hey, am I gonna like feel less like the walls are closing in on me and that I don't have enough time? Will I feel less overwhelmed? This reading is for you, okay? All right. Thank you, Callie Chick, for the question. So let's see, will you feel less overwhelmed? Anything you need to know? Okay. So we have find your own lane. There's only one you, so why are you looking to others to determine your path? Redirect your focus inward. This journey is tailor-made for you. It's making me think, I don't know why I'm picking up on like a accessibility type message. Yeah, so it's making me think of that. Like, let's say someone was in a wheelchair, right? Like, or needed to be put in a wheelchair or needed to use a wheelchair now. And previously, before that point, they didn't, right? Like transforming their house so that they have a ramp to accommodate their needs, right? I'm not saying this is so extreme for you, but this is making me think of, instead of just forcing that person who life has now taken a different path to where now we have a wheelchair now, instead of forcing that person to like always use crutches or a walker or forcing them to walk on two, like that would be ridiculous, right? And so insensitive, right? Take that same approach with yourself. It is insensitive to yourself. I'm hearing sirens in the background. It is insensitive to yourself to just expect yourself to hit the ground running, even though you're feeling better. In fact, it would be more productive for you to accommodate where you are now and what you've been through. So life should be revolving around you, yes. And I know we were taught maybe by our mothers or fathers or society, life doesn't revolve around you, whatever, you're being selfish. Actually, we are deserving to have our own life. This is our life, our own personal life to revolve around us, because who else is going to take care of us, right? Like, yes, your family, your parents and all that stuff, but like you need to be in the driver's seat of your life too. You deserve that, right? We all have our own lives, right? So let's have life revolve around you. Let's have circumstances revolve around what your needs are, what you need to accommodate for yourself in order for you to thrive and balance everything. I think you may not, whoever's watching and relating to this reading, you may not be taking into account what you need, right? And then we have, this is bigger than you. During the journey, you may feel the odds are stacked against you. But throughout history, resilient creators have stood their ground and been a catalyst for moving the needle. Now it's your turn. If at any point you feel like giving up, remember this affirmation: this is bigger than me. So there is a message here about whatever you've gone through. If you're viewing this as some sort of disruption is not the right word, wound, flaw, setback, something like that, like disadvantage. There might be a need to change your perspective to see how that experience is now an asset for you to help others and relate to others and be a source of support for others who have gone through similar situations. Like, you will be leading the charge on that front to support others through the experiences that you had. But I am sorry that that happened to you. And then let me just ask the cards really quickly with the Adventure Tarot. Will we feel less overwhelmed? Oh, this is standing out to me. 10 of Cups. That is a yes, baby. That is a yes. That is a strong yes. And the High Priestess. Yes, the answer is yes. You will be feeling a lot better in terms of like feeling less overwhelmed. This is a card of pure joy. She's like in the springs right here with the northern lights. I love this. There's a rainbow. Like, this is awesome. This looks so relaxing. This makes me think of like retreat energy. And actually, the Scout of Swords makes me think of like a vacation or retreat as well. So you might be taking like a self vacation. A self vacation? I don't even know what that means. But a vacation to return to self, or that will help you return to self. And the High Priestess talks about our intuition. So your intuition and also your mind will be, and body and soul will be aligning again. And you will feel, I'm not going to say like normal, because this is a new normal now. Like, this is the new you, but you will feel more aligned with this new version of you and less overwhelmed. So the answer is yes. Okay. All right. Who is next? Who is next? You have hi, Beans. And then hi to You Can Be My Space Cowboy. Okay, yeah. Or I don't know, beep boop beep boop beep hot, because Space Cowboy. Okay, guys, I'm an only child. Can you tell? Okay, so these names always, I get so much joy from the names. All right, so Beans, you are next. Okay, so that last reading was about resting. I took the advice and feel like I'm in a much better place. My question as a Pisces and artist, if relevant, is is what will this month's prediction be in career growth? Are there any other messages the spirits have regarding artistic growth? Okay, awesome. And then also, I don't expect gratification, but does spirit have any form of any sign that I am on the right track? Okay, thank you, Beans. This is a wonderful question. So for this month, if you are creative, if you're wondering about your path, if you're a Pisces, not specific to Pisces, but just throwing that in there, and you want to know about career growth, and you want to know about artistic growth, and any signs that you're on the right track, this message is for you. Okay. All right. So you can apply this message, even though Beans is the one asking the question, you can apply this reading to you. All right. All right. So we have, period. Money talks. Oh my gosh, you guys. So Beans, first of all, that last question about, hey, I don't expect gratification, but does spirit have any sign that I'm on the right track? The answer is yes. And it's interesting because as you were asking that question, I was thinking, sometimes we fall into this pattern of like, I don't want to ask too much, or I want to be humble, right? But you're allowed to ask for everything that you want. If you want success, if you want financial success, if you want certain things, if you want gratification, like there's nothing wrong with that. There's no guilt there. Like, you deserve to be well paid, well recognized, well supported, well loved, right? You deserve all the things. So there shouldn't be like any sort of apology around that. You deserve gratification, right? So Beans is saying finger snaps, yes. Milan says, yes, money is the language I speak when it comes to career planning. Okay, so a lot of you are loving this message right now. So May is the month of money, honey. Okay. 96 point, hi, 96.2. Hi, how are you? Not the self-report. Okay. Manifesting 7 figures and gray sweats for y'all. Oh, okay. Noguchi says the way I'm wearing gray sweats, but not in the 7 figures. Noguchi, that's so funny because I think 96.2, are you talking about like the gray sweats, like men wearing gray sweats? Like, is that what you're talking about? Or am I misinterpreting this? Okay, we're gonna get back to the reading because we're losing focus. All right, so I feel the Gemini energy already coming early. All right, so signs that you're on the right track will be legit money, okay? Huntsman of Atlas says, I believe to find. Okay, I'm gonna get back to that. Okay, so career path, are you on the right track? Signs, right? Any predictions for this month? We have two things about money here. So the first message, though, talks about expanding your relationship with money. So this is talking about like readdressing your mindset when it comes to money. It could even be like we mentioned before, like readdressing your mindset when it comes to asking for things that you want to receive, right? Are you limiting yourself? Are you the blockage, right, for abundance, right? Is your mindset having more of a limitation there, right? Are you presenting a glass ceiling for yourself, right? So expand your relationship with money and replace any beliefs you've outgrown. You are where the money resides. So how can you make your money go further? And then I'm going to skip over this one really quickly. And we have Midas touch. Everything you want is at your fingertips. You have the Midas touch. Now this card, there's a whole long story about King Midas, and it's not as positive, but yes, everything that he touched turned to gold. But in more like societal terms and financial terms, when someone says Midas touch, it's more of a positive message of literally anything you create. So I would say as an artist, like things that you create, creative ideas that you have, expressions of self that can all lead to abundance and success, however you define it. But specifically, if you are wanting money, if you speak the language of money, like Fomalan, then this is a fantastic sign for the month of May. May is money month, apparently, according to the cards. All right. And so the third message from the CEO deck is you are the muse. Time for a creative spark. How can you infuse more art into your life for inspiration? This is like hitting the nail on the head here when it comes to being an artist, right? So this is like speaking directly to you guys who are on an artistic path. So a reminder that you are the muse, your energy, yourself, your personality. You are the ones leading the efforts, leading the charge, leading, like causing and leading to inspiration for others, right? So the best way that you can have success this month is to tap more into your individual way and unique way of expressing yourself. And if that is legit, like literally creating art, then one, yes, you need to pour more of yourself into your art, bring more of your personality, the way you speak, the way you talk, all that stuff into your art, your voice, your point of view is what I'm hearing. And also, you might be going to wherever you find inspiration through art. So this could be shows, this could be museums, this could be um I'm hearing like sketching raw things, like even if you're a painter, you might be like sketching or something like that. Just like free flow sketching or something like that, or paint by numbers, or you might be tapping more into artistic expression or being more abstract this month, okay? And then let's see, any message from the tarot for this question for the month of May for career path. Let's see. This is a great question, Beans. We have the Two of Swords. Ooh, and it's by fire. The World. Ooh, this is so pretty. Oh my gosh, this deck is gorgeous. Oh my god. And the Four of Wands. Like, I freaking love this deck already. Okay. This card is so interesting. The Two of Swords talks about duality and indecision because swords are thoughts. But on this particular card, it's almost like you have the power. Like, yes, this is making me think of like you have the power to blast through these these mental limitations that are holding you back. Fire is always passion, creative, drive, ambition. And it's so interesting that there's so much fire on such an air energy or air and element card. So it's like in this particular reading with this particular card, you will be blasting through any indecision and any hindrances that are holding you back from your creative expression and passions right now, okay? The world, this is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. And it's making me think of the dance of life again. And, oh my God. And the dance of life with the world with the different cultures. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's all coming together. So the world is also a card of like graduation and achievement. So you might be receiving an achievement or notable closing of a chapter in a good way, like a graduation of sorts, or even like a major artistic or creative breakthrough this month. I love that for you guys. And the Four of Wands is a card of marriage, yes, but when it comes to business, it can mean like a nice partnership, like finding harmony and a good fit. Without the partnership element, it can talk about a celebration, a feeling of being at home within yourself, within your creative expression. I feel like finally feeling very comfortable with who you are as an artist. So this is lovely energy. Thank you so much for the question, Beans. Thank you. Nogichi says, the way I'm an air sign with 2 fire signs in my big 3. I know that's right. And 96.2 says, I was looking at my old sketches the other too. Wait, that's freaky. Oh my gosh, 96.2. Your energy's all up and through this reading, man. That's awesome. I say man, I say man as like the same way I say girl, like gender neutral. Cool. So through Leah, you are next. Oh gosh, I just sprayed myself. I guess I'm the energy that needs cleansing today. All right. Bean says, thank you, Alicia. It was a great reading. Always happy to be here amongst all of you sweethearts. Yes, you guys are such sweethearts. Like, I love you guys. Yay, hearts. Hearts for everyone. Okay, so through Leah, thank you so much for the question. Okay, so you're entering through chat. It's always great to see you, Beans. You bring such positive, beautiful energy. Like, I hope, like, drop a link to your art so we can support you, so we can follow you. Like, drop your info in the chat, okay? So we would love to see your art. Yay, hi. So I feel, actually, Beans, I don't know if this is too much, and I don't want you to do like a new piece or anything like that, but if you have like a small piece, like maybe I can feature it like, next show or something like that, okay? I can like send you an address to send it. If that's something you want to do, there's zero pressure, okay? But it would be great to feature your art. Okay, so through Leah, yay, hi. So I feel pretty stuck in dopamine addiction. Oh, wow. Okay, various habits and patterns that are high key, self-sabotaging. Okay, I want to make changes, and I feel like the time has come, particularly when it comes to devoting myself to longer term personal creative projects and using my voice more publicly. Will I ever feel more expansive / creative / able to follow through on my ideas and less stuck in the day-to-day? Interesting. So I'm picking up on like a question of like discipline. Like, will I have the discipline to follow through instead of like chasing the highs of like instant gratification and then getting distracted? Is that what I'm picking up on? Yes. Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure we're on the same page. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Leah. Through Leah. Perfect. Awesome. Cool. Okay, so if any of you are struggling, I know I personally am neurodivergent. So if you are struggling with like ADHD specifically, or any sort of like dopamine highs where you're just chasing after what's in front of you, but you really want the discipline and the follow through to actually achieve those long-term goals and like commit to those long-term projects, whether it's creative or career or health, right? Let's see what guidance the cards have for you, okay, in order to achieve that, okay? Thrulia says, you get me. I do. Bean says, funny thing is, I'm trying to get into the game industry as a 3D artist. Okay, yeah, no problem. Maybe drop a link or just let us know. Like, we would love to support you. So if there's any way that we can share your art, whether it's digitally, I can't speak today, or not, just let us know, okay? That's for Beans. All right, so let's talk about getting focused. We have the Sorry, I'm laughing because the Eight of Wands is literally a card of like really fast moving energy, like moving at the speed of light with our passions, speaking faster than we think. I do that a lot. And not slowing down. So there's a message here about speed. Let's see what, oh, and the devil. Okay. So it's a very literal take here. So we have the devil. The devil talks about toxicity. It's not I don't view the devil card in tarot as like evil. I view it as toxicity, addictions, as Leah mentioned, and also feeling trapped. These are like toxic patterns, feeling chained to something. So that's what the devil talks about. Okay. So there's a toxic attachment to speed. Oh, okay. So breakthrough moment. So perhaps you might be identifying whoever this reading is applying to, in addition to Leah. You might be perceiving the problem as, oh my gosh, I'm chasing the highs, I'm chasing what's in front of me. But the root of the problem is an addiction to speed, and I don't mean the actual like substance or drug, right? I mean the fast-paced movement, okay? So an addiction or a dopamine fix from things moving really quickly. So if you can get comfortable with things moving at a slower pace, that will help you a lot, actually. If you perceive it from that point of view, if you shift your perception, not from, oh, I have this to-do list and here's my day-to-day and I'm going to accomplish these tasks, and oh, great, I didn't accomplish my long-term goals or make any progress toward that. It's less about that being the flaw and more about the gratification is coming from the speed at which you move and accomplish things. But if you can get comfortable with moving at a slower pace, that is going to help a lot. Like, so if you can like breathe and meditate and be comfortable with not accomplishing 8 things, accomplishing 3 really strategic things that day, and then if you have additional time that's extra, that's actually going to help you a lot. But it is easier said than done to get really comfortable with like, oh my gosh, I didn't like achieve 8 things today, but I achieved 3 very specific high quality things today. That's a huge mind shift, you know? So that's going to require discipline, but apparently that's going to be really, really helpful. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. And so we're shifting from the 8 of Wands energy, which is like the speed of light, like moving so fast, energy, to the 8 of Pentacles energy. This card looks so painful, but normally the 8 of Pentacles is talking about, like, Pentacles are slower pace. It's earthy. And so 8 of Pentacles talks about work and discipline and building and stacking coins. But let me look at this card really quickly just to make sure. This is like, ooh, she's like bleeding. She's like struggling from the thorns. So I would say, and there's like cranes in the background. So I would say in this particular card, we're also releasing, so the key to getting comfortable with focusing on strategic things now and maybe less things on our to-do list, but they have more of an impact, and moving at a slower pace, the key to shifting this mindset is detaching ourselves from the toxic patterning that we have when it comes to how we perceive work. Work, according to this card, we may have been taught like you work hard, you become a workhorse, you work until the point of exhaustion, until burnout. But actually, we can work, achieve 3 things for the day, and we are meant to still have energy at the end of the day to breathe, relax, live our life. We're not supposed to work to the point of exhaustion, to the point where we're falling asleep and nodding off at 2 a.m. because we decided to work from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. We're not doing that anymore. So I would say, Hold on, let me just double check your question, because I feel like the cards were saying like the message that you need to hear, but I want to make sure that you're also getting your answers, babe. So, will I be able to feel more expansive, creative, able to follow through on my ideas and not stuck to the day to day? So I would say the answer is yes. And this reading was more of like a strategic approach of like how you can do that. And then final message from the CEO deck, awesome, is promotion. We pop in bottles. Congratulations, you've been promoted to a new level in your journey. Reflect on one valuable lesson to celebrate how far you've come. So I would say this is a great sign for, yes, you will be achieving that long-term goal that you set out for yourself, or the long-term goals that you set for yourself. You will be achieving those things now. You will be able to figure out this discipline in a good way, not in a punishment way, but in a good way, just moving at a slower pace, but being more strategic. You will be able to successfully shift and graduate into that mindset. And also you will start knocking off and checking off those long-term goals that you set out for yourself. So thank you so much, Leah, for the question. That was wonderful. And I love this message. Man, these cards, these messages are hitting. Okay. Through Leah says, thank you, Alicia. I needed to hear all of this. You're so welcome. 96.2 says, these three is reminding me of something. Yeah. Of someone who's burning out. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it does look like. Someone who's burning out. But I would say there's definitely hope in that mind shift there, you know? Yeah. Okay. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break. So I will see you guys in a bit. Yeah, because welcome back. So who is our next question? Who's in the queue? Huntsman of Atlas. Okay, great. So Huntsman, I already took a look at your question. I'm gonna make this more broad, okay? Because you asked a very specific, unique question. So I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna reframe it to, if you don't mind. If anyone feels like if there's any like external negative influences presenting itself within our lives, right? Let's see how we can transmute that energy into positive energy. If there's anyone who's like actively just trying to make sure that like you don't have a great day or something, right? That's very like not the best energy. Let's see how we can address that, and also how we can protect ourselves from that and still retain our joy in the midst of negativity. Okay? So thank you so much, Huntsman, for the theme. All right, your brand, your voice, and we have baby steps, and we have next opportunity. Interesting. And then I'm going to use the Adventure Tarot for this one. Am I saying the name right? Yeah, Adventure Tarot by Elizabeth Sue. Ooh, cards are flying out. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. I need one other card. Let me see. The Fool. Huh. Okay, cool. All right. Your brand, your voice. Is your audience seeing you clearly, or is there a gap between your image and what you provide? Reevaluate your brand and core values. Every brand has its own voice and personality. This is so interesting. So I silently asked myself a question, because I think it was within your question, Huntsman. There was another layer to the question of not just how we can retain our joy, if there's any like external negative influences surrounding us, but also I silently asked myself a question, you know, is this happening, right? Like, is this negative energy exist, right? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. And this is not meant to be evil, negative energy or anything like that. But yes, there is external, not so positive energy if you're resonating with this energy, because I got the Fool card here. And the root of that energy is coming from, I was picking up on like the Fool, which makes me think of someone who's inexperienced. So essentially, if you are resonating with negative influences, maybe it's a boss who's micromanaging or whatever, or someone who is underestimating you, the root of that, or someone who just doesn't want you to have an opportunity, because I have next opportunity here, right? For some reason, whatever, it is stemming from an incorrect perception that you are naive, that you don't know as much, that you are inexperienced. Okay, so they might think that you're unqualified, or that you don't have enough experience, or that you're too juvenile. Okay, and so it's interesting because I have this in terms of like, is there a gap between your image and what you provide, right? So there is that misconception there according to that person or that energy, right? And then I had baby steps here. So it's like, oh, they view you as like a baby, you know what I mean? So it's interesting. So I know the card itself talks about like you're capable of achieving more than you can imagine, like take it step by step, but I'm focusing on the message of baby, okay? And then next opportunity, again, I was using that. This card originally was meant to reframe no, so N-O, as next opportunity. So a positive message towards, hey, the door that closed is leading you to your next opportunity, right? So embrace every no with grace, knowing that it brings you closer to your next aligned yes. How can you say yes to yourself and keep it moving? So this is answering that question directly about like if there's any negative influences, especially if it's stemming from someone misjudging you or miscategorizing you as inexperienced or not good enough or what have you, you can say yes to yourself. You can ignore that no, that's a them problem, right? And from what I'm seeing, because if it was like if it was accurate, I would let you know, right? I'd be like, hey, actually, you can improve in this area, right? From what I'm seeing on the board, that is actually incorrect. That is a misunderstanding. That is not accurate. Okay, so their perception of you is not accurate. So that is a them problem in this situation. And so you definitely, to retain your joy, need to say yes to yourself, not take the no personally, and let them sort that out, figure that out, and they might learn later after you shine and thrive. Okay. And then in terms of the tarot cards, the additional ones that I pulled here, I have the Explorer of Pentacles, and in this deck, this means the Queen of Pentacles. So that's why I said, no, actually, you are experienced. If you were inexperienced, I would have a page here. I would have a knight here. In this deck, I think it talks about the scout and the backpacker. I have a queen. Anyone who's mature, anyone who's experienced, that is queen, king, emperor, empress, right? So I have a queen here. You are at queen status, which means you are experienced. You are very intuitive when it comes to business, when it comes to nurturing stability for yourself, or going after what you want. In this particular card, we have Explorer. So I think someone's confusing, or an energy is maybe society, I don't know, is confusing your willingness to explore and continue to grow and think outside the box for naivete. Okay? They're picturing your youthful energy and youthful brain as an experience. Okay? So just keep that in mind. But that, again, that's a them problem. Eight of Swords talks about anxiety and thoughts and insecurities. This isn't anything meant for you to stress or worry about. Okay? Let them release what is not yours, and let someone else stress and wonder whether they are seeing you clearly. Okay? The Three of Wands. When I receive the Three of Wands, it makes me think of ships coming in, but also waiting. So it is possible that someone, actually, this is a strong sign that someone or something or an energy, people, what have you, a collective that may have misjudged you in the past or doubted you in the past, will be coming around, whether that's energetically, maybe they stalk your social media and they see something, or maybe they directly say something to where an opportunity comes back to you. But I will say that they are going to see that they were wrong. And I don't mean that in like a bad way, like that they need to be punished, but I mean, they will see that they were incorrect in judging you prematurely. Okay. And then I have the Four of Wands here, which we saw in the other reading, right? The Four of Wands talks about harmony, which is making me think that the opportunity might come back around. Okay. If this is relating to a specific opportunity. Or you just finding and feeling at home, surrounding by people who do see you clearly. Okay. Feeling at home within yourself, and also finding your people. So thank you so much, Huntsman, for the question, for the theme. And whoever was relating to that one, that was like a nice message, actually. If someone's doubting you, or if you feel like there's not so positive energy around you, that's how you can retain your joy. Okay. And also the logic. Sometimes that helps me, like the logic behind why things are happening, you know? All right. Oh my gosh. We have the infamous You Can Be My Space Cowboy. Yeehaw. I love your name, Space Cowboy. What's your question, babes? You can be my space cowboy. Do you want to call in, or do you want to type in the chat? Oh, okay. I see your question. Oh, is there a delay or anything by any chance? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, Bean says this is such a great and unique name. Yes, I love this name. I love the usernames. Like we had some interesting ones over the past few shows. Hi, this is my first Twitch stream ever. Period. Yeehaw! Yes. Welcome. I'm so honored. We are so honored to have you. Welcome. I'm excited to be here. This past year was extremely difficult for me. Oh no. Dealing with a lot of critical health issues. Oh no. A traumatizing roommate incident, loss of friendships. Oh my gosh, this sounds like Saturn return energy. Um, excuse me, all of these things eventually led me to seek therapy late last year. That's beautiful. I'm so happy that you sought out therapy and like professional assistance because that's what they're trained to do, you know? So I'm so grateful that you did that. Um, and I'm glad that it worked out for you. I'm in a much better mental and emotional state, but I'm wondering how how I can navigate my Saturn return era. Okay, because I was like, this sounds like such strong Saturn return energy, and I'm not laughing at the fact that you're in a Saturn return, but it made me think of that. So, okay, instant validation there, or confirmation there. How can I navigate my Saturn return era and find peace, joy, even when things get difficult? I just turned 28 in February. Will I ever find myself again? Oh, space cowboy. Oh, that makes me so sad. Um, well, first of all, happy birthday. You're almost nearing the end of your Saturn return, so that's a positive. Um, oh, Space Cowboy, I learned so much already. I'm so proud of you. I just want to say, first of all, I'm so proud of you for joining the Twitch stream. I'm so proud of you, beyond proud of you, for seeking out therapy instead of feeling like you need to handle it on your own. Like, I'm so proud of you. I'm also so proud of the progress that you've made as well, to be able to look at lessons back. Like, this doesn't look like a positive, a toxic positivity thing. This looks like true growth and lessons and awareness. And I think that's beautiful. Like, you just entered a new stage of maturity. You know what I mean? And so I will pull some cards, right? But in terms of like, will I ever find myself again? I mean, you're in the process of finding yourself, if that makes sense. Like, it sounds like the you that you know, yes, is changing, but you're in the thick of it. You're in the process of defining and finding yourself. So it's not necessarily a question of will you find yourself again? You have all the power right now to shape, and you're witnessing in real time you finding yourself and defining yourself. So it's a beautiful journey. So I'm just beyond proud of you. Um, Okay, so let's see what the cards have to say. So for those of you who are going through your Saturn return, coming out of your Saturn return, about to enter your Saturn return, let's give you a special heartfelt message, okay? Let's give you a special heartfelt message. Yes, we've shared 111. Oh my God, we've shared 111 hugs here. Yo, there's been so many angel numbers. I've been like smacked in the face and attacked by the angel numbers lately, and I say that in an aggressive way because it has felt aggressive. Every 5 seconds, I'm seeing angel numbers. So for those of you who are dealing with the Saturn return, right? Saturn return energy. What do the cards have to say for you? What message do you need to hear? Okay, we have go to market, go with the flow, risk and reward. Now, these cards are geared towards creative entrepreneurs, so the messages are more business focused, but I'm still going to use it for you and translate these messages for you, okay? So go to market. The seeds you've sown are ready to bloom. Start laying the groundwork for this new phase of life. You're ready. So if I were to cover go to market here, right? I feel like this message is perfect, right? The seeds you've sown are ready to bloom. Start laying the groundwork for this new phase of life. You're ready. So you've been, what? Sorry, I just heard a message. I heard you've been hoeing in the garden, which I know it's a tool, but that sounded crazy. You've been hoeing in the garden. Okay, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so mature. Nokichi says, I've been dropping it down in the garden. Exactly. You've been popping it in the garden. Okay. I'm so sorry, you guys. Hold on. Let me spray. See, this is why I sprayed myself by accident, because what? Sorry, Space Cowboy. All right. So you've been planting seeds in your garden. And all these lessons, all these phases that you've gone through all of these trials and tribulations that you faced, right, during the Saturn return phase. Space Cowboy says, we needed to laugh. Exactly. Maybe that's another message. Like, we need to laugh our way through the Saturn return. You know what I mean? So all these seeds are, I'm thinking of like, it's fertilizer for your soil, you know? So all these things are, it's like food for those plants, man. They're eating it up. They're like, yes, character, give me more character. Yes. And so I think like, it's not a matter, again, it's not a matter of finding yourself. It's more about like, yes, you're ready, baby. You are ready for this new phase of life. Like, embrace it with open arms. Like, we are ready. Okay. And for those of you who are entering your Saturn return, go into it knowing that you are being developed to find and define your truest self. So it's not a punishment. It's not a scary thing. It is a period of growth, though. It is a period of growth. 96.2 says, I mean, we got to get that money this month, right? Shut up. 96.2 says, it's the first of the month, too. Rent was paid. I'm so done with you guys. I'm so done. Not you dropping it down, hoeing in the garden to get to pay rent. I'm done. I'm so done. Space Cowboy, look what you did, okay? I think I'm blaming it on your username, okay? Space Cowboy, okay? Nokiji says you gotta do what you gotta do to pay their bills. I'm done with all of you guys. All right, so go with the flow. Period. It is okay. I got this card this morning, by the way. I pull a deck, CO deck card every morning, and this was my message for today. So it's okay to not have all the answers right now. Embrace the uncertainty and the unknown. It's the birthplace of innovation and creation. Trust in yourself and have faith that your dreams and visions are divinely protected. So this is hitting. So I'm seeing a theme here, right? Like, it's more of like, embrace the uncertainty, the unknown. Get really comfortable with not having all the answers. Get very comfortable with not having the path laid out for you, right? When you plant your seeds in the garden, when you're a farmer planting your crops, you just trust that they're going to bloom, right? And if they don't, then you got to figure something out, but you trust in your knowledge and your skills as a farmer. That you will figure it out, right? You'll adjust, you'll adapt, right? So the most important message is trusting in yourself, trusting in your capabilities, trusting in your intuition, having confidence that you are that person, right? And you can figure it out, okay? When life throws you curveballs. And then the last message from the CEO deck is risk and reward. Don't be afraid to take calculated risks. They lead to extraordinary rewards, and we like rewards. Yes, we do. So I think like these instances that you went through, like this tough time, this feeling of uncertainty, it's going to give you a lot more confidence. I'm thinking of someone who like takes a solo trip around the world, right? An international solo trip. And they might be scared. They might not know the language in some places. They might have to overcome different obstacles, right? But afterwards, they feel like they can legit conquer the world, or they feel like, oh my God, I feel so strong, right? So knowing that you've gone through a rough patch and you knew in the middle of your rough patch, you followed your intuition to seek therapy, to ask for help. You knew there were resources available for you. You figured out how to get out of that hole, right? You made it happen. You clawed your way out. You climbed out, right? And so knowing, like having that experience and knowing and trusting that if anything were to happen to you again, you know how to get out of that situation. You know how to make life turn out for the better, right? When the odds are stacked against you, yeah, you can trust the process. Exactly. That's going to allow you to have way more freedom to take risks and to get out of your comfort zone and do things that other people may not be brave enough to do, because you can trust that, hey, look, I'm going to fly. I'm going to like take a leap of faith. And if I fall, okay, I got some scratches, some bruises, but I know how to get back up again, right? So that is your energy right now. Yes, Bean says it's like getting comfortable with the is it like getting comfortable with the uncomfortable? Exactly, it is. Yeah, you're getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. Exactly. And then let's see, do I want to use this deck? Yes. And then final message from the tarot. Let's see. We got the Ace of Pentacles. I love that. And the Three of Wands. It's so interesting. And the Fool. Okay. So the Ace of Pentacles, the aces are new beginnings. The aces are also really personal. So this is a new, stable energy that you're entering for yourself. You are, again, you're like creating like solid terra firma. I don't know. It's interesting because dirt doesn't necessarily make me think of solid. Like it's still, there's still room to like plant the soil, plant the seeds and stuff like that. But I would say it's like healthy soil, you know? So it, oh my God, and there's soil here. Wait, there's soil here. So this is healthy. And so you're planting this, and she has green thumbs. Okay, green nail polish, but you get it. So, or they. So you are planting solid crops for yourself, solid blooms, and it reminds me of that little like sprout emoji. Like you are a sprout emoji. You know what that is? Growth, okay? So this is a beautiful time for you setting like solid structure for yourself and a solid foundation for yourself. I will say with the Three of Wands here, it will take some time, right? You will eat plenty, right? But it won't be grown overnight. Okay, so the new version of you, the beautiful version that you get to celebrate and enjoy, and be so whole within yourself. They're still growing, right? You're still growing, so it won't happen overnight, but it's gonna be beautiful, beautiful. Feel like a cookout energy. And the Fool is the energy of new beginnings and also traveling light. So we're shedding trauma, we're shedding old versions of ourselves, and we are carrying nothing but a backpack, right? We're going on this road trip through life, and we got everything we need in our car, and we're on the road. We're going for it. We're doing the thing with life right now. Okay. 96.2 says, given Mother Earth. Yes, 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 yes. All right. So thank you so much for that beautiful question. You can be my space cowboy. Thank you for being our space cowboy and for the laughs. And just to recap, if you're entering your Saturn return, just know that it is creating beautiful, healthy, fertilized soil for you to plant the seeds for the rest of your life and confidence within yourself. Okay. I wish you a happy Saturn return. Okay. You can be my space cowboy says, wow, appreciate you and your reading so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you too. That was a beautiful question and a beautiful message. So thank you. And thank you for being vulnerable with us too. All right. Next person. Who do we got? Who do we got? Let me fix my AirPods real quick. Okay, 96.2. Did you type in your question? Did I miss it? Or are you typing? Yeah, let me get some water. Okay, 96.2. Excited for your question. That was so funny. Hoeing in the garden needs to be a message. Okay, while we're waiting for 96.2, I'm just going to share something because it just popped in my mind again. So I was having fun with my friends, and had some libations, and and so I was a bit buzzed. And for some reason, I saw like a Palo Santo candle, like my Palo Santo candle, and randomly I just said, "Palo Santo, bitch," So it was so random, and so I don't know. I feel like that is a very love and light mantra that we need to carry whenever we experience tough times. Just be like, Palo Santo, bitch. Nokichi says, LOL. That is my wisdom that I impart to you. Love and light, very kosher. Nokichi says, I'm gonna say that from now on. Nokichi says, I'm gonna start naming all the saints. Palo Santo, bitch. V365 says, Q, yay, join the queue. Bean says, can we take a moment for your nails? The blue is stunning. Thank you. Yes. Hey, nails. I want to shout out. Wait. Hold on. Let me get the IG really quickly. And then, oh, 96.2, I see your question. Hold on one second. I want to shout out the nail tech. Okay, Jealous Beauty Bar LA, and it's GEL, like gel. So Jealous Beauty Bar LA did my nails. I found a new nail tech. I'd been looking, and so she did my nails. Her name is Vanessa. She's based in LA, and yeah, she did like an amazing job. Oh wait, can you see it? Can you see my nails? Yeah, so jealous not J, GELOUS Beauty Bar LA. Her name is Vanessa, and she freestyled my nails because sometimes I don't like to think about the design. So she was like, "Hey, I'm feeling this for this month," and I was like, "Have at it." So she added like rhinestones. I don't know if the camera's like focusing on it, but yeah, she did it. Thank you so much. Yes, thanks for the reminder too, because I wanted to shout her out. So thank you, Vanessa. Thank you for my nails. Thank you. All right, so 96.2. I've answered this in my head, but I want to see a reading. Should I lean into my wants versus doing the right thing? Either fueling my soul versus saving money? Ooh, love versus home wrecking. Oh my gosh. What do we have here? Not the tea. Not the tea. All right. Let me so this is a semi-individual reading, so let me address this from a very broad point of view. Should we give into our indulgence, or should we quote unquote do the right thing? Should we fuel our soul, or should we be responsible? Okay, so I'm curious what this is gonna say. 96.2, 96 always has the tea, honestly. Bean says, so watery, so summery, water looking nails. Yes, okay. Your nails are long, red, and goth looking. You're heading into winter anyway, so it's fitting. Beans, where are you located? Oh, wow. Okay, nice. I love that. I wish I could see them. And then 96.2 says, wait, Jealous? That's actually a cracked out name for a nail salon. Yes, shout out Jealous. Okay, so indulgence versus doing the right thing. Feeding your soul, fueling your soul versus the responsibility. Okay, so let's see. Promotion. We have winning season. Wait, can you see the cards, babes? And we have put some respect on your name. So, I would say, wow, I was not expecting this. The answer is in giving into your indulgence, because your indulgence is actually like the fueling your soul. It's not overindulgent. It's you savoring your life. Okay. I don't know. I'm like feeling nervous because I'm like, I don't want to tell you to be irresponsible, but maybe I'm picking up on that fear for a reason. Maybe it's time to redefine what you perceive. I don't want to be a bad influence, but like maybe it's time to redefine what you perceive as responsible, as doing the right thing. Is that something that's coming from you? Is that something that's coming from society? Because honestly, these cards are talking about like you're entering a new level in your journey. Put some respect on your name. Get out of your comfort zone. What may feel safe and familiar may be limiting. Don't resist the urge to grow and explore outside of what you're used to. Nothing great can blossom from staying in your comfort zone. We outside. So this is making me think of you not necessarily viewing it as a contradiction between fueling your soul and doing the right thing. Maybe fueling your soul is doing the right thing. Maybe allowing yourself to savor life and experiences is doing the right thing. That's crazy. 96.2 says, oh nah, I'm gonna be delusional. my gosh. I mean, that's what the reading is saying. It's saying, for those of you who are wondering and like facing this battle of like, am I being delusional? The answer, I mean, the cards are saying, no, you're not. You're actually just following your intuition. You're following joy. This is so crazy. 96.2 says, it's the year of the snake too. Hello? 96.2 says, entering my Phoenix era for real, for real. I mean, period. Hi, Meet Jojo. Hi, welcome to the party. Meet Jojo says, karmic cycles? What are we referring to? I don't know. Are we talking about the Saturn return or? Bean says, I'm in the Southern Hemisphere. South Africa? Oh my gosh, Beans, did we talk about this? That's, oh my gosh. Thank you so much for joining from South Africa. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, welcome. I mean, not welcome, but like, this is so cool. We're international, okay? That's awesome. All right, so back to, I see. Interesting. Okay, back to indulgence versus, quote unquote, indulgence versus doing the right thing. Okay, so here's the deal. I do see there being regrets. It's going to keep nagging at you. The Five of Cups talks about regrets. So if you push off and push off and push off your innate desires to do something, it's going to haunt you. You are constantly going to be thinking about this thing. It reminds me of like, if you are craving something, like let's say you're craving food, right? A particular type of food, excuse me. And you keep pushing it off, or you're like, oh, like let's say you're craving like a really good burrito or something. You're like, oh, well, I can just go to this fast food joint and get like a cheap burrito to save money, or I can eat a hamburger instead, whatever. Like the craving is still going to come back, you know? So if you keep pushing it off, like the craving is not going to go away. And also just an added layer to that message, when we have particular cravings, sometimes it's our body crying out to us. Like when someone's craving chocolate, it doesn't mean that you're unhealthy. Sometimes, and I'm not a doctor, sometimes your body is craving magnesium, copper, right? Like there's actual nutrients, not necessarily within chocolate, but that your body is craving, and it's sending off alarm signals to be like, hey, you need this thing. Like if you're craving calcium or something, you might like go in the fridge and like grab a mozzarella stick or something. It's not just a snack craving. It might be that you're deficient in something. And so spiritually, it's like this craving could be stemming from your soul feeling deficient in something in order for you to feel whole. And so if you constantly deprive your soul of this thing, you can feel malnourished and also have regrets, okay? And I need to speed up because I think this is our last reading of the day. So there is a warning here of you being secretive. So I would say you have permission to go after the things that you want if you're facing this dilemma, to indulge in what your heart is crying out for, your soul is crying out for. Just don't be secretive with it. Let everyone know what you want, what you desire. Let other people just say matter-of-factly, like, I will be doing this, or this is my last day on the job because, you know, I'm going to pursue other things or whatever it is, okay? So definitely don't try. 96.2 says me being secretive kind of tracks. Yeah, I would say that's going to lead to some form of guilt, like you're doing something wrong. There's nothing wrong with honoring your needs and desires and wants. This is your life. You're in the driver's seat. However, you feeling like you need to hide this or apologize for this or being ashamed of this or trying to like not clue people into information, like no, like just rip the band-aid off, get it out in the open, and you will start planting the seeds. This is the King of Pentacles here. So now, instead of it being this fantasy thing or delusional thing or something that it feels like more flighty, there's actual stability here. There's actually joy that can be rooted here with the sun. Can you see this card? Yeah, the sun. So I would say go for it. I don't think you're being delusional according to the cards. Like I only read the cards. If the cards said a different message, I would let you know. But it looks like the only warning is just don't be secretive with it. Don't be all sketchy with it or shady with it. You know what I mean? But I do see you being able to plant like a really solid foundation, and it doesn't, this looks like chicken noodle soup for the soul type of thing. It doesn't look, I'm not picking up an irresponsible energy or just wilding out. Okay, I don't know why I said wilding out, but yeah. 96.26 like says looks like I'm gardening in the street. Shut up. What is with the energy in the room today, yo? Oh, okay. You guys are so funny. Okay, so it looks like we have time. It looks like we have time for one more. Hi, Marcy, Lisa, welcome back. Hi, he Kate, finding okay. Hi, welcome back, my love. How are you? All right, so who is next? We have room for one final semi-individual reading, which means that you get to drive the conversation, and then anyone can join the rapid fire yes or no. Just make sure it's a yes or no question afterwards, okay? So who is next? Who's the lucky next? Oh, okay, Ricora G. Ricora G. Hi, I kind of want a romance reading. You know what? We haven't had romance all day, and so this is so fitting. Great. Okay, I want a romance reading about this girl who I was in a situationship that kind of ended on Sunday. Oh no, I'm sorry. I want to see if I should move on or not. Okay, cool. Period. Love that. I mean, not that happened, but like, love that question. Okay. Um, so if you're in a situationship that ended, or that you're just wondering, like, should I move on? Should I not? I'm not going to do a CEO deck for this one. Let's see what message you need to hear. Okay. So if you're in a situationship currently, think about your person that you want to know about, and let's see what message comes out. 96.2 says, shoot or shoot. Wait, I'm being toxic again. You don't sound toxic. I don't know. Not according to the cards. All right. The Magician, Judgment, Seven of Swords. I would say yes. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I would say yes. According to the cards, if you were to stay on the same path, you have free will. You always have the freedom to make your own decisions, okay? If you're like, look, I want to still explore things or make this happen, you can choose to do that. You can say, F you, Alicia. I rebuke this energy. You know, you can do that. But according to the cards on my table right now, I'm gonna like layer them. I'm seeing that the situationship was not fully checking the boxes of what you truly in your heart of hearts want to manifest for yourself. I have the Magician here. Okay, so if you were to have like a fairy godmother and they asked your soul, what do you want in a relationship, in love? And you answered, they would say, beep, 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 bop, badoop. Okay, I guess it's like a robotic fairy godmother, whatever. Bippity, boppity, boo. Oh my gosh, you guys. Beep, bop, beep, boop. Jesus. Okay. Rikichi is laughing at me. Beep, bop, boop, beep, boop shows how robotic I am. They would wave this situation out of your life because it is not in alignment with what Ricora G is laughing at me. Okay. 96.2 is laughing at me, you guys. The fairy godmother would wave this out of your life because it is not in alignment with what your soul is craving out of the healthy, happy, loving, long-term, stable relationship that you want. Now, you know this is a non-judgmental, very safe space. Even if someone is toxic or not in alignment with you relationship-wise, I don't even like to judge that other person, because we are all on our own journeys learning lessons, and we all are compatible with someone. So I'm not making this person out to be this evil villain, okay? We are not playing the blame game here. But I will say, in terms of alignment for what it is that you desire for your long-term happiness, this situationship has been waved out of your life or would be waved out of your life in this like fairy godmother situation. Okay, there's something also secretive here, so this person may not be fully honest with you as to what they're expecting or what their intentions are. So there's something secretive going on with that too. There's like also this like dinosaur or something in the distance, or beast in the distance. I don't know. I don't like that energy. It almost makes me think of like, if you were to find out about whatever their intentions are or whatever their thoughts are, like it may not necessarily mean like, oh, there's another person or something like that, but like, even if it was like, hey, actually, I never saw you as long-term potential or something like that, like you would probably blow up this whole situationship yourself. You know what I mean? Like it's making me think of that. I know these are arrows, but it made me think of like TNT. So that's what it's making me think of. Okay, so next level of cards. Hi Morphe. Hi Bo. How are you? Record G says, "Give it to me straight." Okay, I am doing that. So Bean says we need a sound bite of the beep boop beep beep bop beep boop. Okay. Me Jojo, I'll get to you in a second. Okay. So 4 of Cups. Yeah, I see in the long run, as you get more and more clear of what you want, this situationship will not satisfy you. And I'm sorry that that's so like set in stone, but the 4 of Cups talks about receiving an offer that you reject because it just isn't something that you want. You lose interest in it. So you might lose interest in this situationship over time if you were to stick to it. I also see that there's victory in the distance after you heal from the situationship if you decide to let it go. And you finding the Empress. The Empress, remember how before I was talking about pages, knights, kings, queens, emperor, empress. The Empress is a wife. And this is gender neutral. So the Empress is a divine counterpart and feminine energy. If you lean more towards divine feminine energy, it doesn't mean that you're also going to have a mate who's divine feminine, because we all need divine masculine and feminine energies regardless of genders within a relationship to balance things out, right? However, this is just making me think of you receiving, wow, literally someone you prayed for, a divine counterpart that's very highly matched and compatible to you. The star talks about hopes, dreams, wishes, and like, praying for something, like saying, this is my ideal counterpart, please bring them into me. That person, those people, if you're in poly, those people or that person exists, multiple ones exist, and so you are actually on track to successfully finding that person soon. So it seems as though, according to the cards, releasing the situationship and moving on is going to actually eventually turn out to you successfully finding the one or the ones that are the most compatible with you. Okay. So thank you so much for that question. I hope those of you who are dealing with the situationship find clarity and together of where you want to take that and what's best for you. Okay. All right. Record G says, wow, what a great read. Thank you so much, Boo. Thank you for the question. And then Meet Jojo says, babe, surround yourself with good people who do good things. And if there's someone that makes you feel lonely, rejected, and doesn't actually know how to give respect, put the respect on your name, period. And don't let them steal your energy, time, or life. Sending ever-encompassing love to everyone. Have a good day, chat. Meet Jojo with the word today. Yes, preach. Thank you so much for that beautiful, beautiful message and good energy. Yes. Record G says, yes, I'm trying to find my divine feminine. Feel me? Yes, I feel you, boo. I feel you. I feel you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for those of you who are just sliding in. Everyone who asked your readings, you can ask Morphe to answer your question. You can ask as many yes or no questions as you want. This is rapid fire time, so I'm going to try to ask. I'm going to try to get as many people as possible. Just start piling them in, okay? Pile them in. Okay, V says, will T and I talk in May? Yeah, Morphe, get in there, get in there. Will T and I talk in May? Yes. Two of Cups talks about a harmony and also a relationship. So the answer is yes. Bean says, am I going to have a fun, are we going to have a fun weekend? Two of Wands, the world. The choice is up to you. If you decide to be a homebody, you might not have the most fun, but if you decide to venture out and explore the world and go out and do something, yes, you will have a ton of fun doing that. Marcy Lacelle, oh my goodness. Should I leave my relationship? Ooh, that's a lot of pressure, girl. Or, sorry, I don't know your pronouns. Guide of Wands, King of Wands, Justice. If you are being treated unfairly, yes, because I can interpret this as that. You will, this is more abstract. It's not just yes or no, because there's levels to that. That's a loaded question. If you are being treated unfairly, or if you feel as if you deserve more, the answer is yes. Otherwise, I would say there's a need to find more independence within the relationship. So if the relationship allows you to have more independence to explore and find yourself, then you can stay and do that. All right. Where are we? Morphe, will my ex come back and get back ever in the future? Okay. Why is the same? What? I definitely, hold on, let me shuffle. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Will X come back for Morphe? Strength. I see some resistance here. Right now, the answer is no. There's some like resistance here of like, even if I wanted to, I feel like I shouldn't. So right now the answer is no, but that can change if someone gives into their inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. Okay. Let's see, where are we? When we say girl is gender neutral, yes, period. Will me and Abdul get married to each other in the future? This is your boyfriend. Okay. Will me and Abdul get married to each other? Three of Wands, 10 of Swords, 4 of Swords. There's some cold feet energy I'm picking up on. I'm going to say unknown energy, babes, because it didn't give me rainbows and butterflies and yeses. It gave me like healing some things first and then making a clear decision on whether or not Abdul is the true happiness for you. I can't necessarily say no, but it's definitely not a clear yes right now, okay? Let's see. Is romance coming my way this summer through Leah? Is romance coming my way this summer? Let me do a different deck. Is romance coming my way this summer through Leah? 2 of Wands, 9 of Swords, Page of Wands, King of Wands, the Lovers, Knight of Pentacles. Yes, you have some F boys or F girls coming your way with a stable partner as well. So it's up to you to decipher between the two. Okay. Who do we have next? Will I date this summer for V365? The Star, yes, and you'll date really great people. Where I need help. I don't know who's next. Milan, gonna keep it vague, but will I be a match or not? Okay. 3 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles. No. There's something here about you standing on your own 2 feet and making sure you're paying attention to what you want. I don't know. The energy is confusing. I see like a disappointment here, but I see you being happy. So I don't know what that's talking about. Okay. Question, is my face card lethal? Okay. 7 of Wands. I love this. Yes. Yes. That is a huge yes with the Ace of Swords. I love that for you. Yes, it's lethal, period. Okay, we're through Leah, our new friendship's coming my way this summer. Ooh, the Lovers, yes, two new friends, yes, I love that. Yes, new friends, and very healing energy too, period. Marcy Lysell says, please. Okay, will I potentially meet someone this month from Beans? Knight of Cups. Yes, yes, yes. There's a love offer coming in this month. Be careful. That person might be toxic though. Hold on, let me see another person. Ooh. It's giving bad romance. So just be careful. Make sure you're doing your due diligence with these people, okay? Um, what else we got? Should I consider death doula work? Wow. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Should I consider death doula work? Page of Pentacles. Yes. Yes. The answer is yes. It'll bring you a lot of joy. Yes. Let's see. Okay, so Morphe says, between you and Abdul, is it because you're not old enough for marriage? Let me see. The moon. Yeah, there's a big unknown here. It's just like, wait. I'm picking up on like, you guys are still figuring who you are first. And that's really important to know before you get married, you know? Okay, who else? Huh? Okay, great. Let me take a few more really quickly. Okay, so will T ask me out for V? Yes. What do we have? Who else do we have? I think that's it. No? Yeah. I think we got it to everyone, no? Okay. All right. All right. If someone has a question that they didn't ask, I'm just going to pull a yes or no. The answer is yes, whatever that question is. Okay. If you didn't get to ask your question, the answer is yes. Okay. Communication. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. You guys are awesome. First of all, like so entertaining, so lively, so kind and sweet and loving. Thank you so much for the energy of the questions that you brought today during the semi-individual readings, for the jokes, for the hoeing in the garden, for the funny usernames, okay? So thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to read for you guys always. Yes, it was real cute. You guys kept it real cute today, okay? Real cute today, chat. 96.2. So thank you so much. Once again, my name is Alicia of Ask Alicia Tarot. You can find me on Instagram, askalicia.tarot, if you want to follow me on there. I also post zodiac readings and also content from the in-person events that I do. I like take you along with me for the ride. I'm also on TikTok too. And YouTube. I got like 17 subscribers on there, so I gotta work on that. But thank you so much to Refinery29, as always, for having and hosting Tarot Thursdays and having me on the channel. Also, shout out again to the creators of these beautiful decks, Yoshi Tani for the Tarot of the Divine, which was this deck. Oh, you can't see. Okay, hold on, let me hold it up. It's, Yoshi Tani for the Tarot of the Divine, which was this deck. And to Elizabeth Sue and Jenny Chang for the Adventure Tarot, which was this deck. Okay. So thank you so much. Oh, and the CEO deck, the Creative Entrepreneur Oracle. Yay. So thank you so much. So today we're going to be, yes, woo, Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. Yes. Yes. Oh, it's your month. Yes. 96.2. Yes. And it's also Mother's Day too. Bean says that this is a great stream as always. Thanks, Alicia. The reading gave me confidence to move forward. Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you so much for the love, Beans. And I'm so happy and honored that you trusted me with your energy and that you found clarity. So yeah. Oh, Famalan says, thank you, Alicia. Thank you so much, Famalan. Okay, so we are now rating, who are we rating, boo? We are rating Queerly B, so raid. Thank you so much for joining us, and you will now be rated into another Twitch stream for Queerly B, okay? Yay, thank you, bye!